Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review of Ready to Love Season 6, Episode 4, Party Crashers. We're on Episode 4. Why do I feel like Ready to Love has been on for 40 days and 40 nights? Oh my gosh. Child, if you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. When the episode first opens up, all the men meet at the gentleman's lounge because, you know, they have a lounge and whatnot. They're looking good. Everybody looking handsome. It's Eric's first time in the gentleman's lounge, and nephew Tommy tells Wiley that the ladies think that his age, you know, they're just not feeling it, honey. It's playing a factor, and it's a cause for pause. Yeah, they definitely think he's still wet behind the ears, breath smelling like Similac. Shout out to Martin. They are definitely not feeling that age, okay? So he is setting him up with somebody that's a little bit younger and more his speed. Okay, well, let's get into it then. So the power is back in the guy's hands, and one of the ladies will be going home. In the next scene, Wiley goes on a blind date with Tina. She's 31. She said she's a mother, a goddess, and an entrepreneur, and a contact lens wearer. Girl, if y'all don't stop wearing these contact lenses, y'all know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of Amara La Negra. Y'all know the one from Love and Hip Hop Miami? That's who she reminds me of. All she needs is that big fro, and they will look identical to me. I was like, come on, Amada. Anywho, that's just a side note. She said that her last relationship was toxic, and he was cheating, and she found out when she was 6 months pregnant. She said she left and she never looked back. Well, good for you, girl, because that is hard to do, especially when you cooking a baby. Honey, emotions are everywhere, and you really want your marriage or your relationship to work, so you just stick around for the sake of the kids. I commend you for actually saying, you know what, pregnant or not, you will not play in my face and leaving him. I've been there, baby. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt and the baby. Moving forward. She says she wants to find a man that accepts her and her daughter. Now, I don't quite know if Wiley is ready for the acceptance of it all. But the fact that they're on this date and it seems like they're vibing, we're going to see. So she walks in and Wiley's jaw immediately dropped, honey. He was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. This is my speed. He's like, yeah, Tommy did his thing with this one. You like that, don't you? So they start right off flirting. She has a beautiful face. She really does. But I just wish they would just let them contacts rest. I don't know what's happening, child. But go on, to each its own, child. I can't. If I see another contact, I ain't saying nothing about it because clearly that's the style in the DMV area, child, and I can't be bothered. Moving forward. In the next scene, child, Precious goes for her blind date, and we're introduced to Donovan. He's 42. He said he grew up with all women, and his grandmother always taught him to be patient and to be kind. First impression of me seeing Donovan, not my type. I don't know what it is. It just, for me, it was not giving what's supposed to be gave, honey. I just didn't like it. And Donovan, are you rocking a nose piercing? But what is happening? Okay, honey. Precious said that he has a strong masculine presence that went well with the sex appeal that he was exuding. Girl, you got all that from him walking through the door? I am not sold on her judgment, honey. So therefore, and thus and such, I'm going to have to create my own judgment, honey, and go off what I'm feeling. Because, I mean, for you to like P.O., it's questionable. Questionable at best. So he said he liked the fact that she was tall. Not that's what you liked about her. She was tall. Okay. It's giving he uninterested, okay? They pan over to Wiley and Tina, and they're talking about her last relationship, and she's telling him it was toxic. And she said that she doesn't know if she's ever been in love, and she's looking for the Martin to her Gina. You go, girl. Back over here with Precious and Donovan, he's telling her that he was married for 12 years. She said, oh, okay, so was it a mutual separation? He said, you know, it's a little complicated. I made some mistakes. Oh, okay, so you cheated. Okay, every time they hit you with the, I made a few mistakes. So did you cheat or not? Oh, okay, I'll take cheat for 200, Alex. He said now he knows what he wants. So he wants someone that's independent and that can also be a team player. So she tells him that she's hella. She's like, let me go Bay Area with it. I'm hella ready to love. That was so cringy. Oh my goodness. Precious. You're acting precious. Okay, you acting real precious right now. All you had to say to him was, well, you know what? I'm actually ready for love. I'm open to it. At first I was a little bit closed off. Now I'm ready to love. All that, I'm hella. Like, girl, gone. She said she's been single for 9 years and celibate for 6 months. Precious, let me find out. Not only celibate for 6 months, but was been single for 9 years. Girl, the math ain't mathin'. Too much too soon. He ain't need to know all that. Okay, he needs to know all that right now. That's not even what he asked you. He asked, what were you looking for in a relationship and in a mate? And you immediately went to, well, I'm hella ready to love and I've been celibate for 6 months. Like, what are you talking about? So then she says to him, I didn't know if you like tall women because my legs are long. She's like, yeah, because we're all the same height when we're laying down. He just looking. She's like, so what is my body telling you right now? You're thirsty, but let's see what he has to say. He's like, it says you're attentive and, your senses are up. Sir, what are you talking about? Her senses are up. What does that even mean? Like, are her spidey senses tingling? What are you saying? Like, oh, see, this is the reason why I cannot date right now. What are you talking about? Her senses are up. She's like, yeah, they're definitely heightened. They're pleasantly aroused. Oh, my God. He's still just looking. Precious do too much. She really just do too much. Her and Paul may be a match because they both do too much. So I can see why she gravitated to Paul. Moving forward. She's like, I like him. This is what she's saying in her confessional. But I don't think he was picking up what I was putting down. Nope, not at all. Okay, not picking it up at all. She trying to break that celibacy and she ain't fooling me. Back over at Wiley's date, the date is done. I'm like, what? What happened? He's like, yeah, I love the conversation we had. And she's like, oh, okay, well, let me give you my number. Their date must have been boring. So production decided to just scrap the whole thing, show the entrance, and then show Precious putting her pee on the table. Moving forward. Back with Precious and Donovan, she's like, so you believe in sex before marriage? He said, well, do you buy something before you test drive it? She said, no. He said, okay, well, there you have it. Sir, just say, yes, I believe it. Ugh. Anyway, I don't know why they're just annoying me. This whole little segment right here is just really getting on my nerves. Precious, why are you asking that right now? Huh? Why? Get to know him first. Did you ask him if he had kids? Is he and that ex still friends? Like, where did he get his piercing? These are the burning questions. These are the burning questions, honey. You're not asking anything of substance. He said, yeah, she's a wild stallion, but I'm not trying to tame her. I'm looking for somebody serious. Yes, because she's leading with sex. She's like, well, I'm going to let the ladies know that you're here and you're mine. And Donovan has arrived. Precious, he's not interested in the slightest, honey. You came in too hot. She came in entirely too hot. She was leading with too much sexual energy. Like, she's a pretty woman, but Precious doesn't know how to read the room. He saw exactly what you were putting down and he just didn't want to pick it up. Let's just be real. Moving forward. In the next scene, Laverne is going for a date with Joy to make pottery. Laverne trying to recreate that movie Ghost, and he ain't fooling me. He just want to get behind her. I'm watching you, Vern. So they start creating pottery. And they start talking and they're talking about what she wants. And she said she's looking for her BFF and somebody to just make her happy. That's the bottom line. She just wants to be happy. So she looks over at him and they're making pottery, right? He's like, yeah, I'm getting the hole right. She's like, is it wet? He said, oh, it's wet. Ugh, I rolled my eyes so hard at this. Now, I'm starting to think it's Joy. Okay? Because let's revisit this. Tori asked if she wanted to have her kidneys touched. She was fine with that. We know Clifton gonna say something sexual if he don't do nothing else, and she was fine with that. Now she over here talking to Vern, knowing how Vern is. Talking about, is it wet? Is the hole getting bigger? Girl, you need to get yourself together, okay? I don't know if this is the entire cast or what is happening, but you really need to get yourself together. So she looks over at him and says that, and she asks, what's something that no one else knows about him? He said, that I've never been in a relationship in the traditional sense. She's like, what does that mean? Like, what was it? A situationship, okay? Taking people out to eat and then going to Pound Town. That's exactly what it was. Texting and calling on the phone and not committing to a damn thing. I'm going to call you, I'm going to date you, but you are not mine and I am not yours, okay? Don't call me on February the 14th because it's just another day. That is what Laverne was out here doing. Boy, too big and grown to not ever have had a relationship at 44 years of age. Boy, goodbye. He said, I just been dating. So then they start, creating something together. And she's like, ooh, this is very sexual. How is that sexual, Joy? How? Y'all think chewing gum is sexual on this season, child. Do you mean intimate? Because it is very intimate for him to be that close to you and in your space, hands against hands, and you two creating pottery together. It's very intimate, but it's not very sexual. Child, she was turned on by him being covered in clay and whatnot. She said she was enjoying him and he was enjoying her. It actually was a cute date, but the Ready to Love cast makes everything about sex, and then it just turns it for me. Like, I'm really enjoying seeing the two of them together because they actually look cute together, and they had a little playful banter at the end and playing with the clay and all that. And I thought that was cute, but it just throws me off when they automatically, they need to stay right. Shout out to Mumin. Moving forward. In the next scene, Demetrius and AP, they go for a date one-on-one, and he tells her he's calling the date to get to know her. So he asked her if she's been enjoying the vibe or the connection so far, and she's like, yeah, honey, she don't like it there. She don't like it there, and she don't like none of y'all, just so we're clear. So he's asking her about her emotions and her navigating through all of this. She said that all I can do is be me and be myself. Like, I know my worth. I know that I don't need a man. Like, you can be Superman, but I am not Lois Lane. AP has a lot of masculine energy. Like, take it easy, ma'am. It's okay to lean into that femininity a bit. I'm not saying you have to be a damsel in distress and fall all out and, be Scarlett O'Hara. I'm not saying all that. All I'm saying is nobody wants to be in a relationship with somebody tough as nails. Like, loosen up just a little bit. I noticed the last episode with her saying she was stomping with the big dogs. Shout out to Martin. When she said she was stomping with the big dogs and she wore a size 11, I knew then. She had a little bit too much testosterone coming all the way up and through. Just relax, AP. And what is your real name? Because I don't like the fact that you even call yourself AP. You need to switch with Laverne. Let Laverne be AP and let AP be Laverne. Child, let's switch the names, child. Oh, honey. Demetrius said that she's a woman that knows what she wants and is sure of herself, but he wants to know if she has a softer side. Yes, let's see the softer side of Sears. She gonna scare a man off, honey. You gonna scare him right on off. And I think you are self-sabotaging. That's what I think it is. I don't think you realize it, but I think what you're doing is you're putting a wall up and you're staying guarded so nobody gets too close. Like, they get almost there and then they get electrocuted or something. Like, you really need to just, let your guard down just a little bit, especially in this process. So then he asked her if she was affectionate, and she said that was her love language, and he asked how it shows up in a relationship. Demetrius was asking all the right questions. He really was, but I'm trying to figure out how he asking all the right questions and he don't never speak. But that's neither here nor there. We'll get into that as we get into it. So she starts to express how losing her husband has affected her dating. And I can understand that, because to lose someone that you've been with for so many years that you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with, that has to be hard. So I do empathize with her when it comes to that. And she's very guarded now. So then she tells him that, her ex was 14 years her senior. And so he's just listening to everything that she's saying, right? He said her sharing her life, they made a connection, but it's not a romantic one. Yeah, you definitely the homeboy. AP is not ready for this type of thing. That's my opinion. Like, she is still in love with her husband and her forever, and rightfully so. Because when somebody is just taken from you abruptly, even when you start to get back into the swing of things, that probably is most likely going to be in the back of your mind. So I understand, but I don't think she's ready to let anyone else in that space. I really don't. But like I said, Demetrius asked some good questions. This is the most I've ever heard him speak. So honey, that's that on that. Moving forward. In the next scene, they rented a nice beach house, and Eric is about to throw down in the kitchen. So Tori gets there, right? Tori, you look nice. Come on in. So Tori gets there, and he goes over to the guys, honey, hair freshly done. And he asks the fellas if they feel like, as older men, how they love now is different from how they loved when they were younger. Well, of course, honey, I hope so. So Demetrius said, I used to think sex was love, but now I want someone that I can be vulnerable with. Yes, for the men's circle. Let's talk about it. That was an awesome question, Tori. Tori be getting deep. He really does. I can see a sensitive side of him. I saw it all up the way up and through this episode. I like that. Tori all right with me. Just then, okay, y'all, just then, there's a boat. There's a bird. It's a plane. It's a boat with Tommy on it, wearing a turtleneck, sailing in. Oh my goodness. He always got to make an entrance, honey. So he gets to dry land. Oh, child. He gets to dry land. And he starts dancing, strolling in. Tommy is a mess. Tommy, get on in. He's like, how y'all doing? Welcome to the private beach house. Y'all like it? Tommy, you didn't pay for it. It's going to be okay. Oh, child. He is something else. Let me tell you something. Every episode, I look forward to Tommy coming through to give me some material. Because y'all know what? The show would not be the show without Tommy and all of his antics. Baby, a whole turtleneck on a boat. Baby, I am done. It's a whole fool. He said, okay, love is on the horizon. So if they want it, they can have it. Okay. So then the ladies arrive. So then Tommy tells them, okay, this is it. I'm not adding anyone else. There is quality here over quantity. Thank goodness. Because I cannot take another 2 leaving and another 2 coming. Thank goodness we're here and we're done. So Tommy's like, all right, y'all. Y'all have fun. Shake it, but don't break it. Boy, gone. Go on, Tommy. Go on, child. In the next scene, Dakia goes over to speak to Donovan. She's like, I haven't spoken to him yet. Well, honey, he just got here. Baby, if it's one thing Dakia gonna do, she gonna get to know a new man. That's what she gonna do. I like that hair, Dakia. You look pretty. So Donovan said that, she really sparks his interest. They didn't talk for very long. Nobody on this episode spoke for very long. I'm like, where are the conversations? Where are y'all getting into it as y'all get into it? Like, I really need something to go off of. But they weren't talking about nothing. Over on the other side, P.O. hones in on Tina. Girl, be careful. She said talking to Paul just feels right. It's like a magnetic connection. Age ain't nothing but a number. Age ain't nothing but a number. Throwing down ain't nothing but a thing. Shout out to Aaliyah. Okay, girl. Maybe they see. What is it that they see? Maybe y'all can comment down below and tell me what they see. Do y'all see what they see? Am I not seeing what y'all see? What are we seeing? Somebody please help me in the comment section because I am completely confused. Do y'all hear me? So here he go. Yeah, the younger they are, the more trouble they are. But, she had an old soul. Nah, sir. You just like 'em young. Can't convince me otherwise. She was an old soul and she had a banging body. So, P.O., cut the crap. Over on the other side, Dakia sneaks away to go speak to Eric. And Eric got his chef coat on and everything, honey. Placement, okay? Making sure he lets it be known that he is a chef. This is his chef coat. And he's available for hiring after he gets through with this scene. So, he's in there talking to her. I told y'all that's why Tommy keep a chef on the cast, because he know he gonna have some of these events and somebody got to cook, honey, and they don't have to hire nobody either. Eric it is. So he's like, I really feel a spark with her. And she said, if we get into a relationship, then we're gonna have disagreements. Like, we're gonna disagree sometimes. He's like, if. She said, yeah, if, possibly. He said, no, I'm saying if, because I am going to be in a relationship with you. I'm very intentional. Oh, okay. Well, honey, excuse me. I like these two together. I really do. So as they're having a moment, here comes old Blue Eyes, Carmen. Carmen, what do you want? Huh? What do you want? So she's like, yeah, I have my eyes on Eric and I see Dakia taking his time. So it's time for you to move on. Girl, you get on. Carmen has a nice body on her. I ain't gonna lie. It's just a side note. Okay, she has a nice body on her, but her personality sucks. It really does. So Dakia said, Carmen just threw me for a loop. So then she leaves them alone. No, ma'am. Do not leave him in there. You need to be intentional. Stand right there and say, you know what? We were having a bit of a conversation. Can you just give us a minute? That's all you had to do. So she leaves. Carmen is like, yeah, I step on the scene and everybody back off. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. He was like, no, you're not kidding. So then we find out that Carmen and Eric go way back. And she hired him before they even got on the show. He said, we always kind of vibe, but we never just took it there. Well, she should have shot her shot then. It's too late right now. Carmen seems like the type that only wants to talk to Eric now because she sees he's interested in Dakia. You ain't really feeling Eric like that. Because if you were, you would have talked to him on the outside world. If y'all vibed, then it would have happened when you were interested. You missed your opportunity. So he tells Carmen that Dakia is one of, the main people that he's vibing with. And she's like, other than, who's your number one? Say it with your mouth. I want to hear you say it with your mouth. He's like, it's you. Eric, what the hell is that? What are you talking about? See, those chefs can't be trusted, but Eric ain't fooling me. Eric, you ain't like that lady. You just want another gig to make some shrimp and grits. And that's what you really want. You do not like Carmen. Carmen, if a man wants you, you won't have to prompt him to say it, honey. He'll just say, I'm interested in you. Child, that was so catty of her. This is the second time that you tried to shade the women or a woman. Like, you don't pass the vibe check. You really don't. Rude as hell and insecure. Shout out to Issa Rae. Moving forward. In the next scene, Tori and Ace, they're off to the side. He's spitting her a little flirtry. Then they pan over to PPP, not to be confused with the loan they were handing out and whatnot. I'm referring to Precious, her part, and P.O. So she's talking to him, but I was like, why does she sound like an old smoker in this scene? She was just a talking. I was like, what is happening? She's like, how was your day? What's it gonna take to get you out of that shirt? Oh my God, Precious. I know you're on a journey, honey. And I know you're trying not to get eliminated, but please let P.O. keep his clothes on his body. Please, honey, for all of us out here in TV land. He said, well, she got all this energy. So then we see Precious talking and or flirting with every man in the scene. Girl, what are you doing? I know it's elimination, but this ain't cute. Just calm down because you're going to stand out in the wrong way. Just calm yourself down. Here she go walking around like a drunk aunt that chain smokes. Wiley, Wiley, Wiley. Do that little dance you do on TikTok. Oh my goodness. Baby, Precious had me hollering. I'm like, Precious, please pipe down, honey. Ooh, child. Here go P.O. Precious is too amped. Like, she need to dial that down. Now, you know it's bad if P.O. telling you you need to reel it in. Girl, you need to get yourself together. Over on the other side, Tori is over there singing to Sabrina. Last time we had a Sabrina at a piano, honey, it was a whole mess. Y'all get up from that piano and go somewhere else. Tori seems to be spreading himself a little thin on this episode. Over there giving a little poem to Ace, and now you over here giving a little attention to Sabrina. But okay. You know what I was wondering though, y'all? Who is Ace connecting with? I like Ace, but I just don't see it. I don't see her person being here. So he brought Sabrina some cupcakes, and she was very impressed. They look cute together. They really do. They really look very cute together. Over on the other side, Eric was talking to AP, and again, it was about her late husband. He said, I know people talk about their, exes just to get through it or whatever, but I don't think she's ready for this process. And I have to agree with that. It's still more healing that needs to be done. And I really wish the best for her. And I hope that she does find, in all seriousness, find the person that is for her, because she seems like a lovely lady. I just don't think that this process is for her. I really don't. Moving forward. Precious and Demetrius are talking over on the side, and she's trying to explain to him why she behaves the way she does. And she's like, I'm just letting loose. Like, I don't understand. He said that he's trying to get her to see that he's looking for more than drinks at the lounge. Demetrius, you so judgy. Honey, seeing as how you don't give nothing but suits. Boy, Demetrius, I hear you, but you also confuse me because you haven't really said much, but you're letting the women have it this episode. So I was very confused by that. Precious has to show more depth though. Like, she really does, because you're just walking around and it's just sex, 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 sex. Precious says she needs sex. Like, it's the remix to Cardi B's Press. Like, I'm gonna need you to get yourself together. Child, you're part deeper than you are. It's okay to be outgoing, but when she was first introduced to us, I thought that she was gonna be, I thought there was gonna be more to her. The men are going to label you, and not in a good way. Moving forward. She's so nervous about being eliminated, she putting too much stank on it. That's exactly what's happening. So Demetrius grabs Sabrina and pulls her to the side. She was like, I'm just really shocked he pulled me to the side. Usually he wants you to come to him. Yes, because the kid was telling him he had BDE. Precious was saying her heart was jumping out of her chest. Y'all looked at his beard and his suit, and all of a sudden he was a catch. Of course. So I just figured out what it is with Demetrius. He feels more alive when the men are in charge of elimination. He thrives in positions of power. That's what I'm getting from him, because he shrinks when the men are about to be eliminated. He doesn't say much. He doesn't do much. He relies and rests on his good looks and his laurels. Okay, I don't know about the good looks part. I'm trying to each his own. But he relies on his suits and his laurels. But, when it's time for him to really get in there with the women and it's time for them to be eliminated, he's more vocal. I've noticed that. So Demetrius said, both he and Tori like Sabrina, so it's time for him to turn it up a notch. So they're talking for a bit, and he tells her that she's somebody that he sees something with, and he wants to pursue something with her. And she was like, I was happy about that, but Tori and I have like an insane connection. It's just a little awkward to have like two men that you're feeling the most kind of competing for you, but not compete. Yeah, they're competing for me. Sabrina likes to play a game. Okay, she likes to be chased and she likes for people to fight over her. That's what I'm getting from her. That's exactly what I'm getting. She said it was the first step, but her and Tori have a connection. In the next scene, everyone starts to notice that Vern is not acting like the same Vern he usually acts like. Maybe he's going through something, or maybe because it's not his episode to be eliminated, he's like, you know what? I don't really like nobody here. I'm going to turn it up next episode. It's going to be time for us. But this episode, I can't really be bothered. That's what it's giving me. Moving forward. Precious said Vern has a God complex. He wants to let the women come to him. Quite a few of them do. Have you met Demetrius? Have you met P.O.? A lot of them are that way. I can see that. That's how he was the first night, playing musical chairs, and you sat right on down. Girl, over on the other side, Joy and Clifton, they sneak away, and they're doing a little flirting, as usual. And they go off to the side, and he's like, you want to get in the pool? She was like, well, my intention was definitely to get wet. Didn't I tell y'all? It's Joy. That's just what she like to do, child. It's something in the Potomac water, I guess. So she's like, the sexual energy between us, it's there. I don't know if y'all see it, but we see it, honey. We definitely see it. These two just need to go on ahead and be together. I do like the way that she looks with Laverne, but I also like her vibe with Clifton. So I don't know. It could go either way. In the next scene, Tommy shows up and takes them in so they can deliberate. Tommy, I have a question, sir. A moment of your time. What is the temperature? Do you have hickeys? Like, why you got on this turtleneck? I just want to know, honey, why are you wearing this turtleneck? I'm so confused. So the men gather to discuss, and he asks who they're feeling. Wiley said, of course, I'm feeling Christina. He said the conversation got deep really quick. Really? Okay, well, we wouldn't know because they didn't show it, honey. All they showed was you saying hello. Eric said to Kia, honey, but wasn't no mention of Carmen. Okay? Now, he said in that kitchen, which I told y'all he was under duress. Do y'all hear me? Okay? He said in the kitchen Carmen's name, but in this here deliberation, he definitely did not mention Carmen. Demetrius says Sabrina. He said that they really vibe. And Tori says Sabrina is his number one and he ain't gonna change that. Honey, he said I said what I said and I ain't changing it. I know that's right, Tori. Demetrius in his confessional, he said, oh, okay. Well, may the best man win and it's always gonna be me. Well, okay then, honey. Be all you can be in the United States Army. Okay. So then Clifton said Carmen. What? Where did that come from? I thought she was baby Jesus. Well, child, I guess now he one of the 12 disciples and whatnot. Where did Carmen come from? And see, last episode, I was like, why are you saying his name, Carmen? He doesn't like you like that. See, Clifton, you got me out here looking crazy because we don't know nothing about you and Carmen's connection because the last time we saw you, y'all were playing virtual golf and you were saying she had the pa-ya-yow and she had the body-yaddy-yaddy, but the blue eye contacts were throwing you off. Now you throwing me off. I'm so confused. Vern, of course, he said Ace and Joy. And then they asked who they weren't feeling. And Demetrius said Precious. Clifton said Precious. Paul said Sabrina. Of course, Paul. She turned you down and whatnot. Vern said Sabrina and Dakia because they don't seem fun. Vern, what are you talking about? Dakia seems like a lot of fun. You just have not gotten to know her. Boy. Clifton said AP and so did Tori. Now, I did not hear P.O. fight for Precious. Last episode, she fought for you, P.O. She is the reason her and her part while you're still standing. So why did you not fight for her? So then Tommy said, usually I deliver the news, but this time it will be one of you. So Tommy goes out and calls Demetrius out to the front to tell the group what they discussed. Tommy, why are you here if you're not doing anything? Like, what? It's giving very much show and tell. So you can go now, you and your turtleneck. Go ahead and go. So he calls up AP and Precious. Here go, Precious. I am shocked. What am I doing up here? And scene. Precious, you are up there because this was not your best episode. It really was not. I don't know if you were nervous. I don't know if you're starting to realize that your connection may not be there. I don't know what it is, but you had a hard time this episode. AP, you're there because I just don't think your person is there. And that is okay because you seem like a very mature lady and you seem like someone who's very intentional, but you got to let your guard down just a little bit if you're going to say you're ready to look.